I run around the bullpen, grinning, taunting, excited, laughing, squealing with delight. My heart is thumping all the way up to my neck, like it is right now. Okay. You can't get me. I'm too fast, Mr. Big Fat Bull. Turning around, sticking out my tongue, flapping my hands with my thumbs in my ears, and wriggling my hips at the beast. Papa tells me a story years later. Your grandpa, Dusty Rhodes, rides Brahmas, and he's broken every bone in his body. Those beasts are the most dangerous bulls around. You could have been maimed, for God's sakes. He never asks where Mama is when the fun stuff is happening. He just shakes his head and looks disappointed. He has never said an unkind word about Mama. He tells me she has something called paranoid schizophrenia. Okay, no, I'm not crying. He said if she takes her pills, she will be okay. But if she drinks alcohol instead of taking her pills, she will not be well. Mama likes to drink a lot and forget about her pills. She gets mean and picks fights with whoever is in her way. I just want Mama to be normal. That's all. The end. Thank you. It's
Did the bull
torturous.
decide to have mercy on you?
You have to read it. Maureen, you have to read the book. All right, so this was my memoir. This was John, my husband, my deceased husband. The story behind it was I started with my artwork, and I was just drawing Baby Darlin because he asked me, how come you're drawing this Dee Dee Rocks character? Why don't you draw yourself? And so I started drawing me as a child. And then, so I'm like obsessed with drawing Baby Darlin all the time. And then he asked me, what would she say? And then I was off to the races. Just, what would she say? So, inspired by John, for sure. And then this, Laughing in Your Sleep, is a compilation of poetry, his poetry, John's poetry, and my artwork. And we started this in 2015, and he would write the poems, I would read them, and he would say, okay, now some artwork. And I was like, oh God, I gotta draw something. Like, it was gnarly, some gnarly poems, but I did it. And I finished the artwork after his death. And I can't believe it's actually being published. He would be flipping out. This is him. He's a little wolf guy here that my dad gave me. And this is my friend Allison. She can't be with us tonight. I love her so much. And anyways, I'm going to read some of this. My cards are really cool too. So, okay. So this is the artwork. It was a cricket that was bugging the heck out of me. I was ready to end its life, and he talked me out of it. Okay, so this is the title of the book, is this poem. In the mornings, there are walls of flesh, walls of bone, waiting for me, like me smoozing the lady behind the glass. I slept sitting erect, while my eyes fluttered, the patients often say. And every morning, someone deems themselves more significant and cuts in line. The people stare, piercing the back of the patient's head, thinking, make way for the king or queen. His inked up head bulges with remaining veins, his rope madness. When the door finally swings open, I walk the white hall with the many doors and the two more women smiling behind two more panes of glass. How are you today, John? But the answer always sounds the same. And when I leave back to the car, I tell them goodbye and never want to stay. That very moon, it's full moon tonight, you guys, by the way. He's flipped out for the moon. It's crazy. I slept erect once again, and she was beside me naked, laughing in her sleep. Waiting as the moon held high, matching her grin for the walls of flesh, walls of bone, and the ladies waiting patiently behind the 3 panes of glass. Oh, and if you want to know what that poem's about, you have to ask me. Yeah, and he woke me up when I was laughing in my sleep and asked me what I was laughing about. And I said, I don't know. I don't know.
Did you know?
I didn't know. I didn't even know I was laughing until he woke me up. But, yeah. So, yeah. Wow.
Incredible.
Oh.
Do you have any questions you want to ask her? Yeah.
Questions?
Since you're so close to her.
Questions? Oh, yeah.
Or any observations about...
We had a debriefing about appropriate questions and what I was going to answer, what I wasn't going to answer. So I love it. Now you're going to ask me the question.
Well, Stacy, what is your reaction to hearing her speak, to read her work? And
honestly, I had to take a lot of gentleness breaks, and I had to pray a lot. I had to reach for my higher power. I had to let her have her own higher power, and I had to ask my higher power to direct my thinking, to not try to fix. And I got to tell you, one of the greatest things I heard her say lately was, when people are reading my book, they just want to hug me and they're all weepy and I don't understand. That was a long time ago. I go, Alycia, for them it just happened, and they love you so much, and to know what you've been through, they just want to hug you. I said, I want to hug you all the time. I do. I'm always ask our friends that we have in common. I'm like, But yeah, she's a miracle. She's a survivor and a thriver. Look at her, artist, writer, educator. Survivor, and an incredible sponsor to other women. No doubt. So.
Thank you. I love that's a cool shirt.
now that the day's here, how are you feeling right now with all this love surrounding you?
I feel overwhelmed with love. It feels so big, and so I'm seeing all faces, from family to program to my work to personal friends to, well, they're all personal friends, right? And I want to count everybody right now, but I'm not going to. But that's my OCD. So somebody please do that. I was so nervous yesterday, so terribly nervous, that I thought maybe I'd take off work, and then I thought, no, not a good idea. You'll be sitting at home flipping out. So my amazing students kept me quite busy, and I have a teacher. One of my favorite teachers actually had some students congratulate me, and she explained that Miss Vreeland is an author, like the book she's about to read. You know the name that we read right here? And they're just like looking at, what? But it felt so good to be supported like that. And that's my life. I have so much support from so many different places in my life, and so many connections because of my recovery. And you know, I'm an artist first, and I'm like, what the heck? I guess I can write too. So it started out that you know, it was just journaling, and then John was helping me a little bit, you know, and he edited my first copy, which was like, thank God for that, because he's so talented, right? And then I put it away when he passed. I was like, forget this. And then I got the courage to continue writing it, and I sent it in, and I said it's ready, and I also have a poetry book I want to submit. She said, yeah, go ahead and do that. Let's see if you can write. I don't know if you can write. And she said, yes, my mind is boggled. You can write, and we'll publish both of them right now.
That's great.
Whoa, okay. So I edited both at the same time. I don't know how I did it. I taught, I think it's 24 classes in a week and did this. And I tried to take off summer school, and they wouldn't let me. So it was gnarly. I don't recommend that, but it's amazing what we can do in life, right? And the first part 1, is when I was with John, and it's in a voice that was a different voice than part 2. You'll notice, because I wrote part 2 in 6 months, fairly recently. So within the last couple of years. So so it's quite different. So, but equally wild, and there's just so many different stories that my favorite is the sea glass story. So yeah.
I have one more question
yes.
before we turn to the audience. This is a very significant time right now. You insisted you wanted it this week because of John's passing on the 15th.
Yes.
And in the 5 years since, I just would like to know, how do you feel about your own personal growth process within this incredible time of grief that you've managed to turn around to make it a joyful thing?
Great question. Really great question. I think how it worked for me, because now I have to feel my feelings. There's a lot of people in this room now that have to feel their feelings. And thank God he passed during the pandemic, because I could walk around with a mask because I was not happy. And lay on the couch, and I could teach from the Zoom, which was great. And I immersed myself in grief. I felt every piece of grief. I didn't run from it. I cried when it came to me. I was working with a therapist. I felt it, and it was torture. It was absolute torture, but I knew from people that were supporting me, if I didn't do that it was come back to bite me later. I'd be at work just flipping out. So I immersed myself in the grief, and I tell you, the unexpected feeling of ultimate joy after doing that was incredible. It was like a new awakening, like I went to the depths of my being of sadness. Now what's left was the joy, and so I can feel joy, like just incredible joy now, like I never experienced before, and I did not expect that at all. So do the work, people. I'm also in a program, ACA and SLA. I got all the programs, so I was really working all these programs in order to deal with this stuff. With all the feelings. And this book in particular was so healing, and so I was walking on the beach talking to John, send me a sign. I hate this poem. I really hate it. It's about a woman that I know the whole situation. I don't want it in there. And I took it out originally, and then weird stuff started happening. I don't know, like the TV kept flickering and all kinds of weird stuff, and the crows were taking over and all this weird stuff. So I put it back in. And so it's just as he had it in a binder with our art side by side. I just transposed it to computer and edited a little bit, but it's just like Bukowski-ish that he wanted. And that wasn't that hard to do. And so I don't know if I answered your question, but thanks.
Thank you for sharing your joy with us.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions, please, or comments? Please feel free right now.
I love your shirt, Alycia.
Do you love it? Okay, let me check it out. So I was looking for something fun and groovy, and this came up. It's a Jesus thing, I guess. But look, it's the books. I got to put the books and then pick 10 books. And if you saw all the books that I have, it's a problem to pick 10 books. But I picked some of my favorites, like Just Kids and John's favorites, and the last book we were reading together, which was the Salinger book, Franny and Zoe. We didn't finish it. Still got the bookmark in it, but it's right there. And Mythophysiphus, we used to make jokes about that. Right? And he introduced me to literature, you know. Oh God. Anyways, that's all. Love you. There's John's mama, Allison, and John, my father-in-law and mother-in-law, John's parents. I love you guys so much.
Did you guys want to comment or anything?
We love her so much. We wish we were so much closer to see her.
Yeah.
And so it's a real treat to be with her and watch her success tonight. And we've traveled that journey with her, so
Yeah.
it's we just love her.
Love that. Maisie and Scarlett's my stepdaughters. There's some references to them in there. They are precious dear hearts.
Alycia, I hear sometimes different times that John kind of just shows up in different ways for you. Was there anything today that happened?
Yes.
Yeah. You showed
Matter
up.
of fact, I was running to the restroom as I often do, and I just said to myself, show me a sign that you're here with me with this fun little adventure that's going to happen tonight. And nothing happened. Go to the bathroom. I'm like, damn you, like of all days. And then there was a feather just, and that's him. So, you know, yeah. There's always something. And then the crows were going nuts as I was getting ready. And I almost took a video and sent it because it's like, that's our thing. Crows. He used to feed the crows, and it used to annoy the heck out of me then, because he'd wake up and feed the crows, and then there's crow madness, the murder of crow first thing in the morning. And now when I hear the crows, I'm like, it's John. And I love the crows. I feed the crows. You would be so proud of me. I get them organic peanuts.
That's great.
Thank you for your courage and the tenacity. I know it wasn't an easy one to do, and I can't wait to read all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so brave.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you for bringing your
Don't cry, Wayne. Don't cry. Wayne and I had lots of tears together. Yes.
Thank you for
Wayne's in the
bringing your
book.
Energy into the classroom. You have lots of Isla Vista teachers here, but we all get to benefit from you and your joy that you have now, and you have a confidence with the kids, and you just let yourself come through. It's just really refreshing and lovely. That's why so many of us are here too.
That's so sweet. I know. I just saw my people. My people. Somebody forgot their glasses. Who is that? Oh. On camera. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
What's next, Alycia?
What's next? I'd love a vacation. If you're buying, are you buying? No. What's next? Just a little relaxing time, teaching the art, and you know, I've done 2 interviews, and in one of them they asked, like, what's your next book? And I'm like, I want to do some art, is what I want to do. But there might be another book in me. I don't know. Thanks. More art. Art. Yes. Yeah.
Any more comments? Well, Alycia, thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Everyone.